So it's time to do a review of Theodore Roosevelt National Park. And it's a good time to do it because I just had two big bean burritos. Shoot. Two big bean burritos, some like nachos, and some hoodoos, which is something that I've made up and I'll explain later. But it was an awesome park. The first thing like coming into it is just like all prairie grassland stuff, and then out of nowhere it just like drops off, bottom drops out, and then you see all these buttes, and it's just like beautiful. That was an awful joke, but it was really beautiful. It was a cool place. It's you want to keep your windows up if you go. It's dusty, and I had my windows down because the AC is not great in my van. So a lot of dust everywhere, and I accidentally left my tent open one day, partially open, and dust got in there and all over my stuff in there. So that was fun. But yeah, so some things I learned, this I didn't learn, I guess, but I did dispersed camping for the first time. So I just drove to a area in the Little Missouri National Grassland, and I just set up camp outside of my van, and I have like some extra like cookware stuff that I can just cook out of the van with, and those were some sweet burritos. I made some more there. That's basically what I live off of. So I did that. I learned what clinker is. It's the red rock. Bentonite clay is the gray rock that washes away. I learned what sandstone looks like. It's more of the sandy color rock. And lignite is like the black lines within the buttes. I got to see petrified wood. I think that it's like the second um, largest amount of petrified wood in an area. I think there's a petrified national forest or something, and then yeah, I think Yellowstone has a lot of petrified wood too. I don't know, but they said they had a lot, and there was a bunch. The more I got off the trail and was just looking around at stuff, there was a bunch scattered all around. Um, I saw a prairie rattlesnake, and it didn't. I wasn't too close to where it um, could have harmed me. I saw prairie dogs, and they were barking at me. Probably because I was walking through their town. I saw coyotes, and in one of the videos, you might have seen where I was at camp. There was a big like hole that was behind me in the butte. I think that was a coyote den because I heard like a little one going in the middle of the night. I saw a grouse, which is kind of cool and scary because they wait to the last minute to leave, and they do it loudly and abruptly. So they scare you when you're walking by yourself. I saw hawks. I saw lots of bison, which is cool to see. There's a lot of bison in other parks. Um, I'm in Wind Cave National Park right now, and there's a bunch of bison here too, so that's cool. I saw some horses, wild horses. I saw one really mean wild horse. I yelled at him when I saw him again because I was driving back around, and I saw his face, his stupid face, and I yelled at him because he scared me too. A pronghorn, um, just like a mule deer, and I saw a mule deer too. But pronghorn's like stubbier, and it's got horns. I think they are horns instead of antlers. It would only make sense. I learned that Theodore Roosevelt, the reason he went out there was because he got into cattle ranching, but also he lost his mother and his first wife on the same day. I think it's February 14th, which was kind of depressing. But yeah, he stayed out there. I think it was mainly for the summers he would, or winter, summers he would go there, and he would stay for. He had his ranching business for like 3 years or something like that. There was an attempted assassination against him. I didn't know that as well. And they had his shirt with a bullet hole through it, and it was during a speech, and he continued to give his speech. And I also just went to Mount Rushmore, and I would think that Teddy Roosevelt on Mount Rushmore would be because of like his environmental impact on the U.S. But the reason he's up there is because he made a deal for the Panama Canal, which I mean, I guess is cool in its own right. I saw juniper trees. I know what those look like now. I know what sagebrush looks like now. I know what it smells like. And it's there's an awesome smell throughout the whole park. It's just sagebrush everywhere. I saw prickly pear cacti, and I can recognize that. I saw lots of bones, antlers. After I got off the trail, lots more bones and antlers. And I saw hoodoos. So hoodoos are sandstone. It's like a big sandstone like slab, and underneath it is just skinnier bentonite clay that's like holding it up. That's getting washed away slowly. So it's just like a big top with like a skinny like pencil stand. And what I call hoodoos now are it's a good energy meal, you could say. I take bread. Right now I have wheat bread, and I take um, chocolate icing, and I put chocolate icing on the bread, and I eat it like that. I read it in a book that I have that said that was a good. The frosting's like the poor man's Nutella, or the man that's allergic to nuts Nutella. So in the book she has a different name for it, but I like the name hoodoo, so I call them my hoodoos. So that's what the hoodoos are in my book. Um, and I did get squeaky clean after my trip, and I shaved too, but I did a terrible job, and I cut myself at least 20 times. Um, got more skin than I did hair, and I think it's because I'm not doing it as often. So, but anyway, this is going on way too long. That's all the stuff that I learned. Those are the new things I can point out. Um, and now I'm ready for the Badlands. Those were pretty bad lands, but I'm gonna get into worse lands.